Good morning again. Welcome back. It's Tuesday. We'll come back to this in a little bit. I'm gonna head out to the wood shop, see how my shelves are looking. I didn't really show you this yesterday where we were, but Dad's got his wood shop out here in our old hip roof barn. Morning. Well, here's my shelf. It turned out pretty well. I got a gap on the one back side. Them screws didn't work. I didn't draw it tight like I wanted them to, so I won't do that on the next one. I need a couple of filler pieces here along this side. So I was gonna cut and plane this or size this board down to fit in there. It's about 3/4. Okay, well, I mixed up some glue, sawdust, made some putty, and filled in that crack, filled in my nail holes, and I got some pieces glued in on the sides there. We got some sanding to do, so we're gonna have to do that once we get it. We'll let the glue dry, but that one is basically done, sanding and finish. All right, there's number 2, put together, glued up, clamped. I even got the filler made and put in there. So 1 and 2. 2 always goes faster and does do a better job than the first one because you know what you're doing and what your mistakes you made. I could do even better on the third one. Biggest issue or mistake that I made was I routed these edges on these long pieces before I put it together, and I routed the little bit in between there that needs to be a square corner. I should have waited until it was done so I could router right around this corner. I got to do this side here yet, but we're gonna let everything dry, so no big deal. Phil came out. He needs my help. In fact, we need to go somewhere and pick something up. So we're gonna go do that. Oh man, this is nice. We found us a semi truck. So Phil, it's inside one of them doors over there. Phil's going over stuff with the mechanic and checking stuff out a little bit more. Anyway, I'm gonna head back to the farm. We'll look at that when he gets back there. Phil's gonna drive it back. Well, I made it back to the farm. Phil has not made it back with that truck yet, so when he does, we'll go check it out a little bit more. For now, though, well, for a couple of minutes anyway, I'm gonna work on this corn head. My seed truck should be here anytime, so as soon as that gets here, we'll get it unloaded, and then we'll get back to this project. I'm trying to get a cord to plug my light in. If you missed yesterday's video, all we were doing is taking these spring tensioners apart here. A lot of them. This one actually was pretty clean. Have a lot of dirt packed in that spring. We're cleaning that up. That's what all that dirt is on the floor. And trying to clean these spacers out as best we can. Actually, about the best thing you can do is rub that spring up and down inside of this and clean that out. And then using the air to get that dirt out from in there. And this idler sprocket, that whole arm here, needs to be able to slide back and forth. So we got to get that freed up so that it moves easier. It moves a little, but not as much as it's supposed to. Now you can see how much easier that one moves than before because I got all the dirt out of it. A couple of things to note. When we do take this all the way apart and clean it up and paint it, which I have done a couple of times, we paint these spacers, we paint these arms and the deck plates and everything else. But in certain areas where pieces need to move, I actually use graphite spray lube stuff. And so you'll notice down here, there's a silver color. That's because this deck plate is the one that actually moves in and out to change our deck plate spacing. So I put slip plate under there so that one can slide. And then I actually put it on the bottom of these arms that we're doing because they need to be able to move. And so where it rubs on the deck plate underneath, I actually put that slip plate coating underneath there to try and help lubricate everything so that it slides and doesn't wear so much. Like I said yesterday, this corn head is getting some significant wear on it. Certain things, the deck plates got a big notch in here, some worse than others. You can see it there on this one. They all have it to an extent. This one here was one of the worst. So next year, I'm thinking that we're going to end up putting new gathering chains on, possibly new deck plates. We'll have to look at the sprockets. I don't know if those will need replaced or not, but we'll do a little bit more complete tear down and repaint, redo it next year. But I think everything's okay for this year. The chains, while sloppy and getting some wear on them, are not wore out by any means. So we do need to go through, hold on, more dirt, and check the gearbox oils. So in here there is gearbox dipstick, oil dipstick. So we need to check all of those before we are done here for the year. And I am going to take some fluid film. I've got a air sprayer somewhere over there. It's whatever. To use some fluid film, kind of a lanolin based undercoating, and just spray anything that's shiny and could or will rust to keep it somewhat nice for next year. But I don't want to put any of that on until we're done working on it, because I'll get it everywhere. Okay, I got 2 more rows done. We got 2 left to do, and I just looked and saw my seed truck pulling in, so we'll get that unloaded. Beans today, I think, and I don't know if it's a full truckload, but at least half a truckload. That's good. I got some more to come yet, and hopefully we'll still order some more, but we got a bunch of beans. Like, I've gotten a huge percentage of them, so that is really good. All right, well, I got that truck unloaded. I had, what was there, 11, 15, 17 boxes on it. It's a good deal. And while I was doing that, look what showed up. Phil made it back. So let's take a look at what we got here. This is a 2019 Volvo VNR, which is the short hood truck. It has about 345,000 miles on it. It's got the Volvo D13 engine, a 12-speed I-shift. We had them they changed the shifter out. So this is new. It had a basic shifter in, and we had them change this and put a premium shifter in, which means it has a performance mode, and we can manually shift here. Yeah, so that's really nice. It's clean. It's a beautiful truck. I think we are going to really, really like this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I kind of want to take it for a drive. I did test drive this when we were at the dealer with Phil a couple weeks ago. Remember, there was a video one day, and I said Phil and I had go somewhere together. Yeah, it was to look at this, yeah. So, Phil said when he was driving it back, he said you can really tell a difference in the performance mode. Does it show me somewhere? Economy, yeah, the EP performance, neutral. Let's put my foot on the brake. D for drive. Oh, better take the parking brake off. That's what I always forget, because this does not take the parking brake off. You got to remember to do that separate. Oh yeah. We're gonna go for a drive around the block here. Oh yeah, we're in performance mode. We'll let her go. Oh, this is nice. Yep, definitely nice. There is a huge difference in the economy versus performance mode, just in the shift points and where it's shifting and stuff. So we got lots of buttons on the steering wheel to figure out what the heck they're all for and what they do. But yeah, this is a really nice truck. I think we are going to really like this truck. So we should be able to put one of our radios in up here pretty easily. I think there's even a power connectors in there. Yeah, right there. It's got power, so that'll be super easy to do. It does not have full lockers, so we like it when our trucks have full locking rears, which we've never had a truck with full locking rears, but it would be a nice thing to have. They just don't exist on used trucks very much, so this one doesn't either. It does have a cool thing where it's got a air trailer lock disconnect, So you can unhook trailers from the cab, kind of. Yeah, sort of a cool thing. We aren't going to unhook trailers very often, so that's not a super big deal to us. It's got these, yeah, aerodynamic wheel covers. They probably won't last. They'll probably come off. And it does have steel wheels on the back, aluminum's on the front. Would be nice to have all aluminum, but when you're being we've been looking for trucks for almost a year now, right? I've been open with you guys on that this was our next big purchase. We've been looking for a long time. They just were few and far between, and we were being pretty picky. First thing we noticed about this one is it is very clean. I mean, yeah, you got a little rust on your airbags and stuff, but the frame rails, everything is very clean. It's not been repainted, I don't think. And it's not corroded and pitted and paint just sprayed all over everything, you know, where it looks like some of the trucks that they just run the heck out of them and then they get repainted. So we're pretty happy with the way that this looks. The engine's clean. Everything looks really nice on it. This is going to be a really good truck. My current plan here is to get the combine out of the shop by the end of the week, which should be doable, maybe by Thursday, and then try and get this truck in there. We need to just, it's clean, but I want to put a wax or a ceramic coating on it of some sort, and protect that paint a little bit. But yeah, there's the engine, Volvo 13 liter. It was 425 horse when we found it. We had them up it, make it 500, so it is 500 horsepower tractor now, and should pull our grain trailers real well. So anyway, that's what we got, and we're pretty excited about it. So if you have questions, I'll try and answer them, or you can feel free to tell me how junk Volvos are and we should have bought a Peterbilt or a Kenworth or whatever you guys feel like telling me we did wrong, because I'm sure somebody will have an opinion. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a great truck, and looking forward to getting to run it. Actually, what happens is they just get kicked down the line, right? So the International is for sale, which is why we brought it up here the other day. Got somebody that's looking at it, and if they don't want it, I'm going to get it posted on the internet, so we can get that one sold. But they all kind of get kicked down the line, right? So maybe I'll get to drive the Cascadia next fall a little bit more, and instead of the Columbia where I actually have to shift. So that's a big step up for me. Came back out to work on my shelves some more and sand the glue and stuff off, the putty that I put on there. Just decided to flatten the tops off through the drum sander here. Okay, well, I got those shelves done, but I need stained. We'll get to that. Let's get this corn head finished up. A couple rows to finish the cleaning the gathering chains and sprockets, and at least that part of it will be done. Okay. Corn head row units all adjusted, cleaned, tensioned properly. Good deal. Gearbox oil. So I tried to, this one won't be, yeah, probably not. I tried to blow these off when I was going through them. Just to make sure that I got all the dirt out of them, but we'll get a 3/8 ratchet and break those loose so that we can check our oils. Caught cord. Oop, focus. So there's a little dipstick on there. You make sure the oil is between the lines, which it is, and you put it back in there. And don't over torque them, because you don't want to strip those threads. That's a bad day if you do. Just snug it up. That's why we use a ratchet and not an impact. Gearbox oils are all good. For some reason this year, my deck plate position sensor did not work. Well, that sensor is behind this shield. I'm going to take it off so we can look at it. Well, it's this sensor here. Everything looks okay except for this rubber seal here is broken, and it sits in there. I wonder if that's letting water or something got into this. See, there's this arm or rod here that runs all the way across, and in the middle there's a cylinder, and that cylinder pushes that rod back and forth, and you'll see this thing is clamped on there. Let me go around to the other side of the row unit so I can show you how this works. But that is right here. Here's that rod. Here's where it's clamped on. And that is attached to this arm that pivots on this pivot point and this pivot point. And it moves these arms up here, which have this plate in it, and it makes it slide in and out. It changes this gap, right? Every one of those. And they all move together. They all move at the same time. Here's that cylinder right under there. And so they're attached to this sensor. That rod is attached to this sensor arm down here, and it's supposed to tell me where that's at. You calibrate it, and it knows based on where this rod is and that sensor is how open or closed our deck plates are. But it did not work at all this year, and so I think this sensor is bad. So those are relatively cheap sensors. I'm just gonna go ahead and replace it, I think, or I may even have one on the shelf. We'll see. Well, I have one that is close, but it is a different part number and clearly used. I assume it's still good because it's in the parts bin, but that's always a guess. No. So I'll go look it up and see how much this thing costs. Probably outrageously expensive for what it is, but my guess, $68. That seems about right. I was wrong. It's a little more than $68. Ouch! $116.86. Sensor AXE 17036. That's, you guys can't read it, but that is the number that is on there. Right there, you can see it. Well, wish there was a way to definitively test whether this was the problem or not, but it didn't work, so I guess I'm going to get one. All right, I got one of those sensors coming. Last thing for today. I was going to do this yesterday, and then I ran out of time, but remember we scraped all that crap off of those there and let it dry out, and I got it all loose. I am going to rinse it down with water one more time, try and blast it to the back so it falls down, and just rinse this all down one more time. Rinsing that pan down, and it just all the dirt that we scraped out, rinse down. Okay, well, I got that inside cleaned out, and like you do when you're washing on the combine, you find more and more dirt, so you just keep spraying it down, spraying it elsewhere like that. Anyway, we're good. So I wanted to do that tonight so that it dries out overnight so we can put the combine back together tomorrow. So that's the plan. Brock should be here. I believe our fuel filter, remember we were waiting on a fuel filter? The primary one, we got the secondary but not the primary. I believe it's out in the parts shed, so we'll check that tomorrow and get that changed hopefully. And we should be able to get at least the sieve and chaffer and the internal components put back together. And then hopefully most of this pile of shields here can go back on the combine. I'm hoping by Thursday we've got it out of here. Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll start putting some of this stuff back on tomorrow. We might even get the foam cannon out in here tomorrow, foam it, hand wash, scrub, rinse, and then we'll have to see what we got for ceramics or waxes or whatever we're going to put on there. I think I got something in the parts bin over there. So anyway, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Exciting day. New semi-tractor shows up at the farm. That is good. I'm excited to start using it. Phil, I think, is going to start hauling with it as soon as he gets the paperwork in place and is legal to do so, which is good. So, side note, so Milwaukee Tools, we buy a bunch of their stuff. Do you think they have a pretty decent warranty on their tools? Do you think their heated jackets qualify? I lost it. Can you see it? I lost a tooth on my zipper, and now my zipper doesn't work, which is a major bummer because I really like this jacket. Oh well. Anyway, have a great night. Hit that like and subscribe button. If you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. We'll see you again tomorrow.